Hello there, Pisces. Thank you so much for tuning in for the monthly tarot video forecast for the month of February. This is my first monthly forecast, so I'm using a completely different format here than what I do for the weeklies. Interested in hearing your comments on this. I would love to hear your feedback. So let's just get started with this video and see where it goes. We are looking at a major theme for the month of February for you Pisces. This is not going to be all inclusive. This is not going to tell you all about your month. And of course, it's a general reading, so even this is not going to apply to everybody. But what I am trying to look for is just one major theme to kind of help you guys with a little bit of awareness as you're going through the month for the majority of Pisces. Now, the first thing that I'm looking at, oh, and by the way, I'm also not showing cards with this spread, just because I think that that actually, in some cases, would be more confusing than helpful in the way that I read this spread. So you won't be seeing the cards, but you will be hearing what I'm actually picking up about you. So the first thing that I'm looking at does have to do with your environment, and your environment can be any place that you have energy and effort invested. Usually it comes up as home, but I've also seen it come up as school or work several times as well. So when it comes to your environment, what I'm seeing is you have sort of had to take a stand for yourself when it comes to your environment, or you're having to in February. So this may be, if you're renting, this may be something unfair that's going on where the landlord isn't really handling things right. So, you know, maybe the heater has gone out, and you know, here where I am, that's the middle of winter. That's an issue, and he or she is not as quick about fixing that heater as you would like. So you have to take a stand for yourself. That's one way that that can play out. This can also be, of course, if your environment really is at work, this could be taking a stand for yourself among your coworkers and saying, you know what, I'm not doing everybody's work anymore. You guys are going to have to do a little work too. I can see this easily playing out within families as well, where sometimes we have to set limits or set boundaries as far as how much we're going to be doing for somebody else and how much we expect for them to figure out how to get covered on their own so that we have some time for ourselves. So basic point here is that in your environment, whichever environment is coming up for you, you are taking a stand for yourself in February, or maybe even you did this already in January. Let's see, because we're just coming into the month with that card. The next thing talks about your subconscious leanings. And so Pisces, what I'm seeing is that you're really focused on money in your subconscious right now. And your subconscious kind of chews on things all the time, sort of in the background of our brains. And then every once in a while, it'll spit something all the way forward to our conscious level. But the subconscious kind of gnaws on problems until it gets them solved. And I'm feeling like for a lot of you Pisces, what's going on with the subconscious is there's a concern about income flow, that as soon as the money comes in, the money goes out. The money comes in, the money goes out. The money comes in, the money goes out. And the subconscious is really working on how can we make that so as soon as the money comes in, some of the money goes out, but some of the money stays with us for a little while. The subconscious is going, we would not like to be broke for half of the month or half of the week or whatever it is for you for the last 2 days before we get paid. So the subconscious is really working on, okay, how can we fix this situation with the income flow? The next thing that I'm looking at is actually two different things. This is your learning style and also your communication style. Now, first of all, those both do change more than what you realize throughout a lifetime. So we are looking at just February, but we're also looking at whatever this main theme is that we've picked up on. And it may be one of several main themes, but so this is going to be as it relates to the main theme, and you'll understand more about what that theme is as we go through. So this may not be about your communication style in general for the month, or your learning style in general for the month, but as it pertains to whatever this particular situation is that we're looking at. So first of all, let's start with learning style. I feel like right now you are learning best in a group and maybe even in competition with other people. It feels like you are learning best under fire. So you're just deciding, okay, I want to learn how to do this. You're jumping in with both feet and just doing it. or at least just attempting to do it. I do feel like you have a little bit of safety net. You've got one or two people that are there to advise you and kind of point you the right direction if you feel like you're getting a little bit lost along the way. But for the most part, you're just jumping in and doing it. And that's how you're learning things in February, Pisces. Very brave of you, I might say. Now, the next thing that I want to look at is going to be about your communication style. So let's see here. I feel like for the month of February, your communication style may be a little bit haphazard. I feel like maybe timing is not the best that it possibly could be when you're trying to get an idea across. I feel like you may feel a little bit pressured to get your ideas out to somebody, and so that kind of makes you not pay as much attention to timing as maybe you would normally. Maybe normally you would kind of wait until a calm moment when somebody had a chance to focus on you. I feel like you're having a hard time finding those kind of calm moments when somebody can focus on you for you to actually be able to communicate with them in some kind of effective way. And because you're getting a little frustrated about not seeing many opportunities like that, you're coming to a point where you feel like you just kind of have to blurt things out in the middle of whatever's going on and just hope that the person heard at least a little part of what you just said. So that's what I see coming in for communication style in February. Work. Work can come in one of two ways for me. When I think of work, that can be how you make your living. It also can be what you're doing to improve your own character, okay? So what I have coming in for work is judgment. And so if this is playing out in the workplace, this would be something where there's a decision that you have to make that is going to affect, you know, several people, and that decision is very important. And I feel like you're trying to be as fair as you possibly can with this decision that you're making in February. And this decision, what else do you need to know about that decision? I think I've told you everything. Oh, you're trying to be as fair, and you're trying to look at it from everybody's point of view because you want this decision to benefit as many people as possible in February. Now, if this is playing out in a way of where you're developing your own personal integrity, you're doing some character work, this would be more about looking at the situation that you're in right now. And this can be about relationship, this can be about finances, this can be about anything, but this can be, you know, sitting with a situation that you're in right now and really looking at it and really deciding what's the best move here. Now, sometimes following up on those decisions may be a whole nother ball game, but at least being aware is a first step towards being able to follow up on good decisions. Okay, so that is whichever way that came in for you guys. For some of you, that'll come in just one way or the other, as a workplace thing or as a personal issue that you're working on. For some of you, it'll come in both ways, and you guys will know. You'll know what resonates with you. So then, let's see. The next thing that I'm looking at for February, guys, is I'm seeing you being grown or expanded in your generosity. I'm feeling like you're being more generous than previously. And I think that you're actually enjoying it. Although I am feeling for some of you, there's a little bit of nervousness about, okay, am I overdoing it? Am I going to be able to cover all the bills if I do this? So there's a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of anxiety, but that is what's being grown or expanded in you this month is that sense of generosity. And I feel like you guys really, you enjoy being generous. So it's a fun thing, actually. A fun thing. Now, the next thing that I'm looking at is something that you stand for. And this position is actually influenced by Mars, which means you can stand for it with great aggression or enthusiasm. But what I'm seeing is you've been in a situation where you felt like you couldn't move forward. You just felt really stuck. You didn't know what to do with this situation. I feel like that could be January, and it could have been going on for a long time for you, Pisces. And with this situation, you have finally figured it out. And I think you probably got a different perspective on it to help you figure it out, because what you've realized is that you were keeping yourself from moving forward with this situation. It really, you're not being able to move forward really was not based in reality at all, as much as it was based in the ideas that you had in your own head about what was going on. And you've released yourself from that in February. You've got that new perspective and you've realized, oh, this is where I was holding myself back. Now I'm going to move forward. And I feel like this is the thing that you're taking a stand for. So somebody is saying to you, well, you know, I thought you used to say da 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 da, so why are you doing this now? You know, and you're just sitting there in the position, well, now maybe I'm a little smarter than I used to be. And I'm acting on those smarts. But I think when this person comes to you with that criticism or coming at you, sort of attacking your decision now, this is a point where you tell them, you know what, I've got this. You don't have to advise me. You don't have to criticize me. You can just step right off the curb because I've got this right here. Okay, so the next thing that I'm looking at is how other people perceive you right now. And what it looks like to me, what it looks like to me is that other people are seeing you as someone who is working on a project. And not a project that you're working on by yourself either. They see you as working on a project that does require teamwork. It does require other people's assistance as well. And so when people think about you right now, the first impression that they're getting in February is, oh, he's working on something with some other people. That's their first impression. And I feel like they, expect that over time you will be successful with this project. I'm not sure where the hiccups came from, but there they are. Excuse me. So anyway, they are expecting that you will be successful with this project and you will be able to move it forward and enlist the cooperation of other people. Now, one of the experiences that you're going to be having as you move through February is I feel like you're going to be doing some collaboration. This actually just kind of confirms how other people see you, that they're seeing you in at least a somewhat correct way. You're going to be doing some collaboration with somebody else. This may have to do with celebration. This may have to do with promotion. This may have to do with music or some other creative art. But definitely some collaboration going on in the workplace. It definitely feels like work, although maybe a little bit less of a traditional style work. We're not necessarily talking 9-to-5 type job here. This has a much more creative and intense feel to it than that. So for some of you, this could actually be a collaboration on a hobby that you're really passionate about. But for some of you, most of you, I feel like it actually has to do with your work. And just that your work is more creative based than a lot of people's. Okay, so as we get towards the end of the month here, as you're working on this collaboration with somebody, it feels like, what is going on there? Okay, so first of all, it looks like you're having an interaction with someone who, for most of you, will be female, but not for all of you. And this is somebody who really expresses her emotions in an out of control kind of way. So maybe she just cries a whole lot while she's trying to talk to you. Maybe she's more shouting or screaming. Maybe she's actually throwing stuff. This is a volcanic expression of emotion. That's the best way that I can really name that when I see that show up. And so I see that this is going on as you're collaborating, and I don't feel like, is this related? This may be related to your collaboration. So this may be somebody that you're collaborating with that just like really expresses her emotion in a non-healthy way as you go through this. And I feel like you and this other person sort of split ways. I don't feel like the collaboration itself is over. I don't feel like the idea is dead. I just feel like the two of you realize that it's not so good for you guys to work together. You may be still working with other people. I'm not really sure about that. So I think for some of you, there are still other people in the group that you are working with. And for others of you, there may not be. It may be just you carrying this idea forward. But I do see work continuing on whatever this collaboration was. So whatever that project was or that idea was, I do see you continuing to work on it and bringing it forth, eventually even on your own if you have to. But like I said, I don't feel like all of you are on your own just because this one person leaves. Some of you are still working with other people as well. So that's what your February looks like, or at least that's what one little part of your February looks like. I want to thank you all for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate all the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the comments. Please let me know what you think about this format. And then also, I don't know if I'm going to do these again or not. This is kind of a test. So if you would like to see me do monthly forecasts again, what I would tell you is share these videos all over the place, because what I'm going to be looking at is the number of views that these videos get to decide if it's worth my time and effort and energy to make 12 videos monthly and put out there. So if you would like to see me do these again, share the videos all over the place. Once again, thank you so much for all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic month. Maybe I'll see you back here the next time. Peace out.